I would like to call this meeting to order at 9:02 a.m. and we will start with the roll call. If you could, Madeline, please.
Are we not starting with land acknowledgement first?
Oh my God, yes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. Um, Associated Students recognizes and acknowledges the first people of this ancestral and unceded territory of the Fernandino Tataviam Band of Mission Indians that is now occupied by our campus of California State University Northridge. Honors their elders, past and present, and the descendants who are citizens of the Fernandino Tataviam Band of Mission Indians. Associated Students recognizes that the tribe is still here and we are committed to lifting up their voices, culture, and community. Now moving on to roll call, please.
Okay. Vice President Jimeniano Aragon,
Here.
Senator Abrams. I forgot to say if you could not only unmute yourself but have your camera on for this meeting, that would be great. Senator Arias Gomez,
Here.
Senator Ascension,
Here.
Senator Atias,
Here.
Senator Basilio,
Here.
Senator Cabrera Figueroa,
Here.
Senator Cunan,
Here.
Senator Dawood,
Here.
Senator Dominguez,
Here.
Senator Garcia,
Here.
Senator Gavino,
Here.
Senator Hernandez, Senator Katka, Senator Quiroga,
Here.
Senator Ramirez,
Here.
Senator Umana,
Here.
and Senator Vicente.
Here.
Wonderful. We have quorum.
Okay, awesome sauce. I would like now to move to the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion? Senator Basilio,
I move to approve the agenda for July 7th, 2025.
thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Senator Gavino. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, if there are no objections, we will move forward with the approval of the agenda. Okay, this passes unanimously. Moving on to the approval of the minutes, is there a motion? Senator Arias,
I move to approve the minutes.
thank you. Is there a second? Seconded by Member Quiroga. Is there any discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, if there are no objections, we will move to approve the minutes for June 2nd, 2025. Okay, seeing and hearing none, this passes unanimously. Moving past special presentations into open forum. Open forum is intended as an opportunity for any member of the public to address the Associated Student Senate regarding any issues affecting CSUN students. Speakers are allowed 3 minutes each to speak. And for anyone that's here for open forum, please just raise your hand so you may give in permission to use the mic. Is there anyone here for open forum? Is there anyone,
Okay.
Madeline?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll allow you to speak. Hold on one second. All right.
Hello, it won't let me show my face. Like I
It,
can't.
sh it should be fine. Just,
Oh,
yeah, go ahead. Just go ahead and speak.
okay, perfect. Sorry, I was trying to find the camera the whole time. But hello, everyone. My name is Araceli Torres, and I was given the position of chair of elections. So a little bit about myself. Again, my name's Araceli Torres. My pronouns are she, her. My major is business administration and management. I'm coming in as a junior. Some of my special interests are event planning. That's like my main thing. Um, and being involved on campus and like making connections with like multiple people. Some of my experience on campus includes me being part of a sorority on campus and also have positions. I used to be the director of recruitment events and am now serving as vice president of membership. I also am part of NSO and have been doing that. I'm also part of the business program on campus. Um, and then what inspired me to apply for the position was actually last year I was part of the elections committee and just watching the chair like do her responsibilities and like do everything like really did inspire me, especially when it came to like the event planning that took a lot of time. Um, and helping with it really did ha like I had so much fun. And then some of my plans and goals that I would like to implement during my term would be just raising the voter numbers, but also like getting multiple people to apply to run for a position, and also just marketing like elections a lot to let people know that they can run for positions because a lot of people on campus don't know. And then what I'm looking forward the most with this position is just having fun and getting other people involved and just meeting people and doing the best that I can. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Araceli. Is there anyone else here for open forum?
Hi, everyone. My name is Hermione Douglas. I go by she, her. My major is psychology with minors in Africana Studies and political science, and I'm a junior here at CSUN. Some special interests that I have is that I want to be a clinical psychologist and advocate for mental health in the underrepresented communities. And in AS, I want to make sure everybody's voices are heard and represented. I want everyone to understand that AS is here to help and advocate for students on campus. Oh, and then sorry, also I um, am trying to be chair of DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And then also some experiences that I have previously is I am BSU president, Black Student Union, as well as president of my sorority, Omega Kappa chapter of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I also work at the Black House as Black Leadership Liaison and Program Assistant for a mentorship program for Black women here on campus called Wisdom. And yeah, that's a little bit about me. What inspired me to apply for this position within AS is that I heard from the MECHA president, and she shared the challenges she faced trying to host an event at the Chicano House using the backyard space. And her experience made it clear that some cultural organizations on campus feel unheard and unsupported. I realized this wasn't an isolated case and that many students and groups may not see Associated Students as a resource that advocates for them. And I want to change that narrative. My goal is to ensure that AS not only provides a platform for all voices, especially those from marginalized communities, but also builds genuine relationships where students feel seen, supported, and empowered. And I also noticed that many students in my own community weren't aware of what AS does. By stepping into this role, I hope to bridge that gap and help students feel more connected to the systems that are meant to uplift them. And then also, some plans and goals I have that I would like to implement during my term is to host a cultural unity showcase, a large-scale event where students can share and celebrate their cultures through food, performances, art, and storytelling. The goal is to create a space for mutual learning, cultural appreciation, and community building, as well as establish a DEI advisory committee so that everyone is represented in the committee and it's not just one voice being heard from. And then also to have a DEI impact report so that everyone knows what impact I had on the community and knows how we can build on top of that after my term is done. So yeah, so the change can keep happening. Oh, sorry, there's one more question. Sorry. With this position, I am most looking forward to making the campus better than how I found it. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
And
so much.
all right, and one more from Caesar, or another after Caesar, but continue.
Hello, everyone. My name is Cesar Rosales. I go by he, him. I'm currently a graduate student here in the Masters of Public Communication program. And I'm here to talk a little bit about my hopeful appointment for the chair of legislative affairs. My work over the past year has been dedicated to bringing up student voices in undergraduate programs, especially as the president of the Political Science Student Association and the treasurer of the State Senate Democrats. I've had the pleasure of serving as the Chief Justice in the previous administration, and my work there, as well as my work as the co-chair of the DNI committee at the USU, has continued to inspire me and drive me to want to do more with an AS, since it is such an important avenue for student advocacy and student work. During my time as the chair of Ledge, I want to continue working to ensure student voices are heard in every single aspect of what happens on the campus, and especially at the state level. I look forward to continuing to put in the efforts that are required to ensure success in those metrics, especially as very difficult times are approaching. I want to continue working hard on ensuring student voices are heard in every aspect of what we do, especially at levels that student voices are often heard. Overall, I'm very excited to continue working with AS in any manner of the way, and I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. Okay, Gabriella, the floor is yours.
All right, hi. My name is Gabriela Miranda. My pronouns are she, her. I'm currently a biotechnology major with a chemistry minor, and currently I'm set to graduate for spring of 2027. I'm actually currently an undergraduate research assistant for the Culture, Health, and Development Lab here on campus. I'm also a supplemental instruction leader for the Learning Resource Center for Chemistry 100. What inspired me to apply for the position of the executive assistant to the president and the vice president was I just like to be of any sort of assistance that I possibly can be. I love to just answer emails or just do random clerical work. I said it during my interview that I actually really like checking my email like 20 times a day. I love answering emails. So I was really interested in applying for this position. My plans or goals are just to be of any assistance that I can possibly be, whether it be through clerical work or answering emails, answering phones, wherever I can possibly be of help. I'd love to just help. And yeah.
Thank you so much. Is there anyone else here for open forum? There's no one on the queue, Madeline. Okay. So then we'll move on to reports, starting with mine. Good morning, everyone. Again, apologies for my tardiness. It was a very eventful morning. But I just want to say hi. It's wonderful to see all of your faces. I miss you all so much, and I look forward to seeing you all in person again. Uh, just for a few things that we have been doing. Alvaro and I have been very busy reviewing applications, trying to find some of your co-senators, trying to fill up our cabinet as well. Uh, and then we'll start moving on to our committees. Once our chairs are hopefully appointed, we'll be able to start filling in some of our committees as well. Apart from that, we have just been having meetings in various different spaces, some with Dr. Watkins, DPS, and others that we are still trying to organize. But apart from that, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge our Vice President, Emiliano Aragon, for the amazing statement that he released in regards to how Associated Students stands and will continue to support our undocumented students and our students of mixed status families who are being unjustly targeted and those of the immigrant community that are being unjustly targeted. CSUN will and has always been and will continue to be a safe space for students to continue their education regardless of their immigration status. And I think our vice president did an amazing job in capturing that in his statement. So I just want to give him a round of applause. So thank you. And I just wanted to take a moment to make sure that you are all doing well, you are all safe. I know these are times that are very scary, and I just want to make sure that you all know that you and the student body knows that AS is here to support you. AS is here to represent you. And if there are any concerns that any of you have or would like to address, please come talk to me, come talk to our vice president or Denise or our executive director. It is important for all of you guys to utilize your resources, but also make sure that students know that the resources that we have. So I just wanted to take a moment to say that. But outside of that, I have just been trying to figure out my Outlook and catching up on emails that I might have missed in regards to how messy my Outlook looks right now. We have been going over scholarships for our students that have applied for Associated Student Scholarships. And apart from that, I have just been keeping up with my summer classes. And yeah, that is really it. It's been a quite an eventful last few weeks, but I look forward to the rest of the summer with all of you guys, and I look forward to continuing all of the great work with our vice president. And that is the end of my report. Are there any questions? Okay, seeing and hearing none, I will move on to our amazing vice president's report.
Thank you, Kiri. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you all here. Good to see that you all are safe too. So for my report, I wanted to begin with I wrote a statement for Associated Students on undocumented students. And thank you so much for recognizing that, Kiri. In terms of time, Kiri was busy in Panetta Institute, so that's why she wasn't able. She was really busy, but at the end of the day, Kiri and I were always committed to working with students and acknowledging that there are issues that we need to be upfront. We do not want to shy away from them, and we want to ensure that students know that students know that we are here to represent them. So I would also like to encourage everyone to do so. There's going to be a time where you're going to be and feel comfortable with writing resolutions, reports, et cetera, et cetera. So just so that you know, I was the one who made a statement this time, but next time it could be you. So if you're interested in writing anything in regards to how AS feels about certain things, please feel free to reach out to Kiri and I, and we can reach out and we can guide you with what is the best possibility. So I serve as the AS liaison during the USU Board of Director meetings. So I was able to sit on 2 meetings. One of those meetings was for last reports for the previous administration, and the other one was for the chair elections. So I would like to congratulate the newly elected chair, Noshin Sabah. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And our future vice chair for the USU BOD, Rudy Granillo. I am really excited to working with them, and I am really excited for you all to get to know them too. Kiri and I met with Tim and Hannah for the introduction of our AS scholarship. So Kiri and I spent our times reviewing 35 applicants for 3 different scholarships. So the review period ends today, so we're going to be finishing that up today. We also met with the DPS, Department of Police Services. We met with Tony Arias and Chief Fernandez. So during our meeting, we discussed some of our goals as AS, but we also discussed some compromises from the DPS, and we extend our fears for our students that the students will have when coming in for our next semester. One of the main things we discussed is how the policies have changed for immigration enforcement issues. So as it stands right now, the hub, the online hub still stands as the main information site. So they haven't done much updates, which I think that still good, but they're still refining things. They're still in talks with Dr. Watkins to see how we are of best health of students. We also discussed Kiri and I about maybe time, place, and manner policy enforcement. Kiri and I were really keen on having sort of these workshops for protesting 101 so that any club on campus or any movement on campus can feel safe when protesting and also know that the CSUN administration wants to ensure safety and not, we don't want to antagonize anyone from the university. In regards of that, we're going to be having more conversations, but if you're interested in any information that I've said so far, please let me know. Please reach out. We discussed a lot and they were great to have discussions with. Also, I trained Senator Umania, Senator Dominguez, and Senator, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm still learning the last names. Senator Cabrera Figueroa for a co-senator interview. So shout out to them because they were able to sit on the co-senator applications and they were great. They were really helpful and we had a great time getting to know them. And we're still getting to know a lot of different applicants. And hopefully by the beginning of the semester, we'll have those seats full by then. So Kiri and I conducted interviews for Senate and Cabinet, and we are glad to have 4 appointments on the agenda today. And I'm also glad for them to get to introduce themselves during open forum. If you have any other questions during discussions for each appointment, please let me know. We have the notes for each interview and application. So, I can also provide that for you. We met with Kevin to brainstorm some ideas on Welcome Week and what our priorities are for the year. So we are really thankful for that. We also met with Dr. Watkins to discuss immigration enforcement resources, and it came sort of alongside with the DPS meeting. We had a lot of great talks in terms of how CSUN will ensure that students feel safe when coming back to campus. We were also able to let Dr. Watkins know how students are feeling and how it can be of best help for them. Once again, in terms of immigration services and resources, the hub, I'll also put it in the chat right now. It still stands as the main resource for anything or any enforcement for our campus administration and resources such as DPS and how they will act in case of an ICE movement happening within our campus and how we are supposed to work. So if you would like to go onto the hub, see what is great, see what areas of opportunities we have, please feel free to do so. We are in talks for Dr. Watkins and DPS and hopefully I think also Dr. Freddy to come to our first Senate meeting to let you all know what resources are on campus, what is the standing of our university, what can our DPS do and what is their limitations and all of that. So hopefully we'll have that for the first Senate meeting of our semester because we want everyone to know what resources we have and we want you all to be also that media of communication for your constituents. We also had the personnel board meeting for June for associated students. Senator Basilio and I met with the Pride Center as a follow-up to our resolution that we wrote last semester on condemning anti-trans and anti-non-binary rhetoric and politics. So it was a great conversation. We talked about what the plans for the Pride Center are, and especially and I want everyone's attention right now. We were able to get some seats to their advisory committee. That is a committee that is university-wide, and they discuss about how the university is able to ensure that everyone's gender identity and sexuality is being considered and is being fostered and it's being cultivated with all of the resources that we have so that everyone feels protected. So, if you're interested in serving in this committee and being a liaison for AS to ensure DEI, please let me know. Our future chair of DEI will work with the Pride Center, hopefully very, very close to ensure that this is happening. But we were able to get at least 2 seats on that advisory committee, thanks to the Pride Center. So please, 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 if you're interested in serving, please let me know. I am also meeting with the deans from all of your colleges. That will serve as an introductory meeting to Curie and I, but also to see what plans we have for this year. I had the opportunity to meet with the dean and associate dean for the humanities seat, and I was really looking forward to it, and they were amazing. And we are in talks now for doing out of the office hours. So we're trying to implement that this semester and next semester too. And the deans are going to be that way of doing so. So that's why we want to get to start with those conversations from right now. Now, things I need to remind everyone, and please, once again, just make sure that you have these things. First of all, let's use proper media of communication. So in case that you have anything formal and anything serious, please email Kiri and I through our emails, as.president@csun.edu or as.vicepresident@csun.edu. That's the way that you can contact us, and we're going to be able to reach out to you. If it's a little bit more urgent, please feel free to use our Flare, or if you have our personal numbers, that's also okay with us. But please make sure everyone's on Flare. If you are not there yet, please let us know and we can get you the invite to the group chat. CS Unity applications are coming up. That's going to be a conference that CSSA, the California State Association is organizing. So if you're interested in that conference, it's going to be in CSU Fullerton. AS would cover transportation, meals, every registration. So if you're interested, it's going to be, and Kiri, correct me if this is wrong, but August 16 to 18 through 18. Yes, and most likely 15 is going to be the day that we're going to travel. So just consider those days. If you're interested, we're going to be sending those applications closer to our next Senate meeting. And the last thing that I have, please make sure that you have your CSUN AS emails. If you haven't done so, reach out to us so that we can send you the invite to your new Gmail, the one that is at csunas.org, because that's the way that we can communicate with you faster, and we are going to be always using those emails. So please make sure that you have access to those. With that in mind, please keep encouraging your constituents to apply. We have we still have some cabinet and Senate seats that we need to fill. So please feel free to do so. If Kiri and I are able to help you with anything, please let us know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alvaro. Are there any questions? Oh, Senator Dow.
Hi, can I get a point of personal privilege?
Granted.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions on the Vice President's report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, we'll move past our Chief of Staff, our Chair of Finance, our Attorney General, and our Standing Committee reports, and we will move to our AS Interim Executive Director, Tim Shapansky's report, if he is here.
No.
No? Okay.
And I don't have a report.
Okay, no worries. We'll move past that into our University Advisor, Asia Butler's report.
Good morning. No real anything to report, just working on getting ready for the fall. But I did just want to remind folks that the Matter Involvement Center, we are responsible for assisting with the enforcement of time, place, and manner on campus. and the MIC reserves outdoor space and concrete tables. And we also monitor spaces to make sure people have a reservation. So when you're thinking about or having conversations around time, place, and manner, please make sure you reach out to us so you can get clear and correct information. Been working on a lot of different documentation to help students and the community understand like the process. So I'm going to put a link in the chat. On the MIC website, we have a reservations link, and that's where we direct everybody to go to learn about how to reserve space on campus, if they're a student, if they're a department, if it's for a classroom, if it's off campus, if it's a religious group. That's the best place for folks to go. We link to the CSU and the CSUN policies, but the link that I just put in the chat is specifically really for student organizations, and it's our reserving space on campus handout. We include it in the orientation training that we provide for officers, where we also go over time, place, and manner. So we try to provide more detailed information because do understand that sometimes that reservation process can take a while. And part of that has to do with the fact that there are multiple offices often reviewing a form to make sure that it meets certain safety, liability standards, food safety standards. Police services might need to review it. So encourage you to take a look at that document. And if you have questions about space reservations, please reach out to the MIC directly. If students come to you with questions, you can direct them to our website or just have them contact us directly, because we want to make sure any information that's being put out about how to reserve space on campus is consistent with what we say. And sometimes information can get misinterpreted, and it creates a lot of confusion and frustration because someone told someone, well, this is how it goes, and that's actually not what we do. So again, please reference our MIC reservations website, or please just direct people to contact the MIC directly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Asia. Are there any questions on the University Advisors Report? Yes, Senator Basilio.
Can I ask why it does take so long to do reservations? Because I mean, I'm just curious.
Yeah, like I said, there's multiple offices that are reviewing reservations. We process a lot of reservations, and so we're not just looking at one at a time. So we have multiple reservations that we're processing. But sometimes a request has been submitted and there's more information that's needed. So one of the big challenges that we have is that people don't provide enough information. They'll say, oh, we want to reserve Matador Square, want to have food and games. What kind of food? What kind of games? We need to know the specifics, because when risk management is reviewing a request, they need to understand what type of games are being played so they understand the risk associated with those games. When there's food involved, EH&S needs to know what type of food, who's handling the food, where was the food purchased from, how is the food being stored, right? So sometimes people don't give us the detailed information that we need, or they're like, we don't know what vendor we're going to use. We just know we want to have a food truck. Well, EH&S can't give a proper review if they don't know the business, because they need that business's, food safety permit. They need all this information. So sometimes we're waiting on the event organizers to give us more information so that it can be processed. Sometimes it's an event that requires a fire marshal permit. So those need to be submitted at least 30 days in advance. So we don't approve an event until every office that needs to review it has given it the thumbs up. Then we'll approve it, because then it's good to go. If we don't get a thumbs up from risk management, then that event can't be approved yet. So that's sometimes why it can take a while for certain events to get processed.
Okay, thank you so much. Are there any other questions for the University Advisors Report? Senator Arias.
Hello, just a quick little piggyback off of Kimberly's original question. Is there a way that is there like in the link that you provided, is there like a checklist type of file or something that could like be granted beforehand for these people when they fill out these applications for spaces?
I'm not sure what you mean by a checklist, but like I said, I'm available to meet if there's a group of y'all who want to meet and kind of talk about ideas or thoughts that you might have. We can do that. We try to put out, like I said, a lot of information. I have my social media student assistant working on some videos for Instagram so we can again help people understand. I did a couple workshops in the springtime. Attendance was minimal. I had one club show up, but we could definitely, arrange a time to meet to talk about some of the ideas that you all have. Um, but yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by a checklist.
Just like for the forms that they fill out when it comes to needing to rent out open spaces. So it would be like how you said, like they don't really list enough information. So it would be like if they were to get a vendor, it would tell them, okay, since you're getting a vendor, please supply this information. And then if it's like which space, like which open space would you like, or which open space were you looking to get? And then like from there on.
So we don't have anything that provides like kind of like that detailed information. When they open up the form, then they do see that. But I can talk with our campus partners at EH&S because again, they do the food part of it. So the MIC, we just make sure the space is available. Our different campus partners, they have certain information they're looking for, so that they may have something specific, but we try to give a lot of information to help students and departments know like what's needed on the form. And sometimes they still, like we have a list of activities, right? It's like 20 things. And people may be planning to do multiple things, but they'll be like, oh, we're just setting up tables and chairs. So then I have to go back and say, well, you're doing this type of event. Are you planning to have amplified sound? Then like, yes, but they didn't check that box. So it's some of that kind of stuff too, where it's like if they would have just checked the box, we would have known more information and there would be less kind of back and forth. But like I said, we can meet because I don't want to take up too much time in the meeting separately if y'all wanted to talk more about, potential ideas.
Thank you so much. Are there any other questions for the University Advisors Report? Yes, Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Hi. So I just wanted to ask, I'll simplify the question. What is the average time span that you see requests taking when they go through the MIC?
We haven't looked at that yet. I would say more simple requests where it's just like, let's say like in the Loop Knitting Club, they're just gonna be out on Bahraimian lawn during their meeting. Those don't take that much time to get processed, maybe like 2 or 3 days. And then larger events can take a long time, a much longer time, not super long, but they can take longer because we're again waiting on just more detailed information. So like a larger event might be like Ballet Folklorico when they do their Dia de los Muertos event. That's a big event that involves off-campus vendors, the public. So those can take, 2 or 3 weeks to get processed.
Yes, Senator Asuncion.
Hi there. So I guess my follow-up to the venues, is there a specific budget or quantity amount that can be requested by the public or by individuals on campus per semester?
No, I mean, space is reserved based on availability and kind of what's already going on. So if a group, like let's say like Good Shepherd Fellowship, we do have limitations on concrete tables. Like there's a certain amount of times that a group can reserve concrete tables within a week. And so, but not within the semester. So we do that because if, you know, demand is high, we want to make sure all student groups have the ability to utilize a table and one group isn't, you know, just using more tables than other groups and so people can't get it. But if a group wants to reserve a certain area multiple times throughout the semester, as long as it's available, then it can be reserved. But if it's not available, we'll let them know, like, hey, Matter of Square is not available, but OST Lawn is if you want to use that.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Senator Dominguez.
Yeah, so I was just curious, are there any spaces on campus that are not restricted by the policy that we're talking about?
No, the time, place, and manner policy covers all university property. So that's indoor and outdoor space.
Okay.
Thank you. Are there any other questions on the University Advisors Report?
And I'll put my email in the chat. Like I said, if you all want to schedule an appointment, we can talk more about ideas that you all have or questions.
Yes, if any of you guys are interested, feel free to email Asia. I know Alvaro and I are planning on also meeting with MIC to try to see if there's anything we can help with, if AES can help with trying to bridge the gap between our students and the MIC. So if any of you all are interested in attending that meeting, please let myself or Alvaro know. But if there are no other questions, we will move on to the Faculty Advisors Report with Veda Ward. You're muted, Veda.
All right. Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a great summer. It's certainly been an interesting time. I am looking forward to each of you making sure that you connect with your own faculty members. Summer is a great time to do that. Make sure that the things that you're carrying in your hearts and your souls, whether you feel at risk this summer, how those things are going to fit into classes. Please remember, some faculty members will be asking you to do community-based work and other types of service. If you feel at risk during those things, make sure that you let faculty members know that in advance. We're working on course outlines, syllabi, etc., so that as you go through your work this fall, you want to make sure that you have connected with those faculty members with any limitations that you feel. In addition to that, if you have specific content areas that you would like faculty members to incorporate, whether it is in their course outline or in terms of Canvas, whatever types of electronic connections they're using, let them know that this summer. Okay? So again, I know that July is coming on. A lot of you all have events, but please make sure that you remember that faculty are there for you. We're there to make sure that your leadership and connectivity goes along with every single course meeting. So don't be shy. Make sure that you make that contact. And I know that most of you all have more than 2 or 3 classes. So again, be sure that you do that this summer before things get started. And I want to thank you all again for being kind, being generous, showing respect, not only to each other, but to your faculty and administrators. Have a great month.
Thank you so much, Veda. Are there any questions on the Faculty Advisors Report? Okay, seeing and hearing none, We will move past unfinished business into new business and approve the following appointments. Cesar Rosales for Chair of Legislative Affairs, Hermione Douglas for Chair of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Araceli Torres for Chair of Elections, and Gabriela Miranda for Executive Assistant. Is there a motion to approve all of these altogether? Is there a motion on the floor? Senator Quiroga.
I move to approve the following appointments.
You can say line
Each one?
items 1 through
Okay.
4.
Okay. I move to approve line items section. Oh my God. Line items 1 through 4.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second? Senator Cunanan, is there any discussion on the appointments? Senator Basilio?
Yeah, I had a question for, well, I don't know if this was discussed, but I know that sometimes in the past, our chair of DEI sometimes focus mostly on their culture, and that's fine, but it can seem a little bit unfair to not acknowledge different cultures. So I did like Hermione's idea of that cultural, like I forgot the name that she used, but that was good. I just wanted to know if there's plans to make sure that you're constantly acknowledging the many different cultures, no matter how big or how small they are on our campus, because that is a problem that I've noticed in the past.
Floor is yours, Hermione. There we go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. There is a plan. I wanted to establish like an open forum for everyone to come and discuss what they feel that AS should be representing them in a way, like how to advocate for them and what issues they're going through on campus. And then also, I wanted to make the committee composed of all identities on campus, not just, of course, mine. I wanted to make sure I hear from everyone's point of view, just so that everyone is represented on campus. So yeah, I definitely had a plan to make sure that everyone felt heard, especially since I even know from the past that the chair of DEI has not, done that. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Just really quickly, everyone, the audience is not allowed to answer any questions. So unfortunately, Hermione was only able to take that one just because it was permitted. But if you guys have any other questions, feel free to share them right now, and then it can be addressed after by Hermione later on after the appointment. Yes, Senator Ascension.
Just a question to be addressed after for Hermione. If you have, once you have your plan set, if you can just maybe send it or forward it to kind of get an idea or ballpark, that'd be awesome.
Vice President Geminiano Aragon.
Yes, thank you so much for all of your questions. Kira and I were also looking forward to sort of what their plans are. I want to say also keep this in mind. The chair of DAI chairs a committee, and there is a Senate representative in their committee. So if this is something that is already resonating close to you, during our first Senate meetings, that's when we appoint someone to that committee. It works similar to how chairs are elected for internal, external, and university. It's nomination based. and then we vote. But if you're interested more in working closely with our chair of DEI, please let us know. We also have the questions from the interview. So if you would like us to, like, maybe there was certain like things that you would like to discuss, and we are able to do so right now with the questions that were asked during the interview, we can also do that.
And just for a quick point, our chair of DEI does oversee the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee, and those committee meetings are public. So any of our senators, any student at large is permitted to go to these meetings. So if any of you guys are interested in that, you guys can always coordinate with our chair of DEI and when those meetings are so you guys can attend those. Is there any further discussion on the appointments line items 1 through 4? Okay, seeing and hearing none. All those in favor of appointing Cesar Rosales as chair of Ledge Affairs, Hermione Douglas as chair of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Araceli Torres for chair of Elections, and Gabriela Miranda as executive assistant, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. You may now put your hands down. Are there any opposed? Are there any abstained? Okay, all 4 have been appointed unanimously. Yay! Thank you so much, everyone. We will now enter Committee of the Whole. Is there a motion to enter Committee of the Whole? Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
I move to enter the Committee of the Whole.
Thank you. Is there a second? Senator Asuncion, is there any discussion? Yes, Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
So on this particular breakdown, I actually had several questions on each one of these
Point of
points.
order. Marcelo, before we go on to discussion for the motion itself, first we have to vote on entering the committee of the whole, and then afterwards we'll get into the actual motion, and then we can get into the discussion. Is that right, Madeline? Okay, perfect.
Thank you so much. Alvaro, is there any discussion on entering Committee of the Whole? Okay, if there are no opposing, we will enter Committee of the Whole unanimously. Okay, we have now entered Committee of the Whole. Moving on to line item 1 to allocate $22,000 from unassigned contingency to Associated Students Administration for AS Development Day, $12,000 for catering and facility rentals, $500 for candles and stickers, $8,500 for journals and polos, and $1,000 for supplies. Is there any discussion on this allocation? Yes, Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Okay, apologies. So I had several questions. Yes.
Wait, point of order. Have you done the motion yet to approve
I'm so sorry.
before discussion?
Right, I'm so sorry. Is there a motion to approve the allocation? Vice President Jimeniano Aragon.
I move to allocate $22,000 from unassigned contingency to Associated Students Administration for AS Development Day, breakdown being $12,000 for catering and facility rental, $500 for candles and stickers, $8,500 for journals and polos, and $1,000 for supplies.
Thank you. Is there a second? Senator Umana, is there any discussion? I'm so sorry, everyone. Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Just making sure, is this, Madeline, is this right? Okay.
Yes, you're good.
Okay. So I had a question on the first 3 points. So on line item one, it's 12,000 for catering facility rental. I wanted to ask first off if there is an itemized breakdown as to the expected costs for the food itself, and also if there is a suggested time frame. The reason for the ask is based off the Orchard Center's website, assuming that it's an 8-hour event, not accounting for the cost of the food itself, the total should be roughly, give me one moment, I got the numbers done. It should be roughly 3,285 for the space rental, not accounting for any food over the minimum budget, and an additional 1,538, assuming that it's 8 servers paid at $24 an hour for an 8-hour period. I just wanted to know if there's any official already determined numbers to help understand where the $12,000 request is coming from.
Denise, I believe this is a question you can answer.
Yes, I can answer the question. So the $12,000 is estimated based on our cost from last year. It was roughly around $11,000. This includes a breakfast buffet, which can range anywhere from $15 to $20 per person. It includes servers. Typically, we have to include extra servers just based on the size of our event. We also try to have 2 buffet lines, which also increases the cost. And this is just to make sure that our students and staff can get through the line efficiently. We also have lunch. Again, that can range anywhere from $20, $25 per person. There is also a beverage package that we include for the entire duration of the event, which I believe is $7.99, $8 per person. So the costs do add up. Like I said, last year it was a little bit over $10,000, $11,000. We also need to factor in any AV equipment that would be included. So the projector, microphones, staging, and additional items.
Thank you, Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Okay. Yeah, and then I just had a follow-up about it. So since it's at the Orchard Conference Center, will this event be using rooms A, B, C, and the lobby room, or is it restricted to only a specific zone? And then also, what is the estimated time frame for this event?
Yes, we would be utilizing the entire facility. That includes A, B, C, and the multipurpose room. We also utilize the lobby for check-in and distribution of materials. We also like to include the conference room as a place for us to store our items throughout the day. And what was your second question? I'm sorry.
What is the expected time length of the event?
Oh, yes. So currently it will begin with check-in starting at 7:30 a.m. and it is scheduled to go through, I believe it's 4 o'clock.
Thank you. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Senator Cabrera Figueroa?
Just a quick clarification. Am I able to ask about other points in the same request? Okay, perfect. Awesome. And then I wanted to ask for the polos with AS logos and the journals with AS logos. There's 145 polos and 200 journals. I just want to ask if what is the reason that there's an offset of the numbers? Is that due to previous faculty already having shirts, or just so I can get a better understanding?
So the 145 for the polos is an estimated amount based on how many current staff, student employees, and board members we would have. That number may change based on our RSVP, so it may be a little bit less or a little bit more. The idea is to have a few extras on hand in case we have any new employees between now and the event date. For the journals, we did add extras so we could distribute to new students or employees as they're onboarded throughout the year.
Okay, thank you so much, Denise. Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Yes, sorry, last question. And then for the 1K for event supplies, how many estimated badge sleeves or lanyards will be bought? I know they normally come in bundles, so it's a little bit harder to get an exact cut on the count needed. I just want to get like a rough ballpark of how many are being ordered.
Our last count, I believe we still needed 100 of the lanyards.
Okay, thank you so much. Are there any other questions? Oh, Senator Asensio.
Denise, hi. I know we spoke about this a little bit. I just out of curiosity, when it comes to the supplier, this is definitely the most economical supplier, right? When it comes to ordering.
Yes, so this is one of the vendors that we work with throughout the year, and of course, this is the best pricing that we'd be able to get. And I would like to remind you that the polos are embroidered, so this is why the cost is a little bit higher than your typical like screen print or anything like that. So the idea is that these polos can be used throughout the year.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Senator Dominguez.
Yeah, so just a quick question about like generally how budgets work. When a budget is allocated for like an event or something, if there is like money left over, like how like what is done with that?
So any unspent funds would just go back to unassigned contingency.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Are there any other questions? Okay, seeing and hearing none. All those in favor of approving line item 1 to allocate 22,000 from unassigned contingency to Associated Students Administration for AS Development Day. Oh, Senator Asensio.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
No, it's okay.
For the candles specifically, so these candles would be the count for these candles would be for the day of development, or are they also including excess in case there are students or any other sort of future events where you want to distribute as well?
Currently, we only counted for the day of the event. We may have a few extras. For this candle specifically, this was an idea from one of the students on our committee. We do have student representation, and they felt that sometimes for students specifically, they like to have a giveaway or something to take home. Yes, the polos are nice. Yes, the journals are nice, but they would like to have something additional.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you so much, Denise. Are there any other questions? Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Yeah, just to get a contextual idea, like for myself about it, for any of the servers, what is the pay that they'll be receiving? Or I guess how much is the hourly pay, or is it a collective sum?
Unfortunately, I don't have that information. That is all based on the TUC's either policies or whatever it is that they charge. I know I can, after this meeting, I can pull up our invoice from last year and I can give you some totals if you'd like. I just don't know if that amount has changed from last year, unfortunately.
Are there any other questions or comments? Nope. Okay. Moving on to the vote for line item 1 to allocate 22,000 from unassigned contingency to Associated Students Administration for AS Development Day. Is it okay if we do a roll call vote, Madeline?
If we want, I suppose.
Okay, could we do a roll call vote, please?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Vice President Jimeniano Aragon,
Yes.
Senator Arias Gomez,
Yes.
Senator Ascension,
Yes.
Senator Atias,
Yes.
Senator Basilio,
Yes.
Senator Cabrera Figueroa,
Yes.
Senator Cunan,
Yes.
Senator, what is that? Senator Dominguez,
Yes.
Senator Garcia,
Yes.
Senator Gavino,
Yes.
Senator Quiroga,
Yes.
Senator Ramirez,
Yes.
Senator Umana. Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And Senator Vicente.
Yes.
Okay, passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you so much. Correct me if I'm doing this wrong. Is there a motion to exit committee of the whole? Okay, Senator Umana.
Exit committee of the whole.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second? Senator Quiroga? And is there any discussion? Okay, seeing none, we have now exited committee of the whole and will now,
Wait, you should vote on that.
right, I'm so sorry. All those in favor of exiting committee of the whole, please raise your hand. Okay, this passes unanimously. Moving on to approve the recommendations of committee of the whole there's no motion. Okay.
Just discussion.
Is there any discussion on approving the recommendations for committee of the whole? Yes, Senator Ascension.
Okay, just to clarify, so when we're setting up discussion here, right? These are just to discuss everything we voted on, or is it more so just like any follow-up?
It's just any follow-up and discussion on specifically what was approved on in committee of the whole.
Okay, so any recommendations or any sort of like collective discussion, would that be for this?
Madeline, could they do any recommendations in this section, or would that have to have been in committee of the whole?
We're already out of committee of the whole, so.
Got it. Okay. Awesome.
Okay, thank you. Is there any further discussion? Okay, seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of approving the recommendations of committee of the whole, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. This passes unanimously. Yay! Moving past information items into our discussion items. Our first discussion item of the academic year, removing the Pledge of Allegiance. This is something that was previously on the agenda. I personally don't feel as if it is okay for us to have the Pledge of Allegiance after a land acknowledgement. I think it's very disrespectful, and I would personally like to remove the Pledge of Allegiance. However, this is not a decision I want to make by myself or with Alvaro. This is a decision I would like your inputs on, and whether this is something that you all agree with me on, or if this is something that you all think shouldn't be done. I just think that for transparency, I would like my our senators' opinions. So I will open up the floor to all of you. Senator Basilio.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know anyone personally who has done the Pledge of Allegiance since at least eighth grade. I don't ever do it. Um, and I like that you mentioned that it's disrespectful to do it right after a land acknowledgement. Um, it's we're acknowledging land that is stolen on, we're sitting on it, and then to go straight into the Pledge of Allegiance is kind of disgusting. Also, it takes like 5 minutes. It takes too long. Sometimes there are like multiple new things in new business, and that time is wasted on a Pledge of Allegiance, which we could be using on to discuss things that actually are relevant to our students and not the Pledge of Allegiance. So I think we should get rid of it.
Okay, thank you so much, Senator Asuncion.
Hi. So here's a proposal that I'm kind of thinking of. We could push it before the land acknowledgement and then go right into land acknowledgement. So my idea behind this is we're technically in the US and we are on technically stolen land. I just feel like it could be 50-50 depending on what everybody thinks about it.
Of course, thank you. Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Yeah, I also agree with the idea of removing it. Also, for the reasons previously mentioned, I feel that it's disrespectful, as you said, to Native tribes that have been here and groups that are still present today. There's also a lot of religious context within the Pledge of Allegiance, and that seems to contradict a lot of the original intentions of this nation, as well as recent affairs have, for lack of better words, distorted the original meaning of these words. So I feel that it is not as relevant as it once might have been to certain people, and does not serve as an accurate reflection of our country at this time.
Okay, thank you so much, Senator Basilio.
I would also like to touch on that religious part. I knew some of my classmates back in middle school who, for religious purposes, could not actually recite the Pledge of Allegiance because they have to put their hand over their heart, and that's not something that they're supposed to do because of what religion they follow. So I think if we're trying to be, first of all, good people about the land acknowledgement, one, it shouldn't be there. Two, there are some people with some religions who do not even allow them to do that. And as like associated students, like requiring them to do that is insane. I don't think we should do that either. But yeah, these are all really good points that people are bringing up to not have this. Again, it's also just a waste of time.
Thank you, Senator Arias.
Yeah, I would just like to agree with Marcelo and Kimberly. I feel like as we're working on all of this important stuff when it comes to getting things done and approving items and doing all this such work, I feel like it does just sap away all that time that would be required to getting through all that work. And then on top of that, it just doesn't really feel like it's something that has that level of value and priority when it comes to getting through with all the work that we're expected to be done. So I personally feel like it should just be removed. And yeah.
Okay, thank you, Senator Ascension.
Hi. So this would be specifically hypothetically removed potentially just during Senate board meetings, right?
Yes, it would be for our Senate meetings specifically that we would be removing the Pledge of Allegiance. If I'm correct, we are the only AS that has a Pledge of Allegiance in their board of directors or Senate meetings. So every single other CSU AS does not have a Pledge of Allegiance. We are the only one, if I remember correctly. Senator Gabino.
Yeah, just a point of information. Is the Pledge of Allegiance anywhere in or like the inclusion of it in Senate meetings anywhere in the AS Constitution, any of the codes, any resolutions? It is not. Okay, because I know that the land acknowledgement is, so that's why we do the land acknowledgement because it was something that was voted on, and so the Pledge of Allegiance wasn't. So I was just wondering about that, but thank you.
Yes, of course. Is there any further discussion? Yes, Senator Dominguez.
I just like to say that I agree with Senator Basilio and the other senators that have brought up multiple good points about just in general time efficiency, um, being considerate of other students and their religions, and then also understanding the current climate we are in as a nation and how it has twisted the meaning of uh, the Pledge of Allegiance. So I also agree that it should be removed for these reasons.
Okay, thank you so much. Just so everyone knows that this is more of a discussion, I did want to get all of your opinions and I did want to make this decision with all of your beliefs and all of your opinions in mind prior to making a full decision. So from what I'm gathering, the consensus is to remove it. So we will be removing the Pledge of Allegiance for our administration's academic year. Moving past legislative referrals into our announcements. Are there any announcements from the board? Vice President Emiliano Aragon.
So the new student orientation season is going to come up very soon, and I already sent an email regarding tabling, so please make sure you go over that email. If you are available during those days, please sign up for it. I'll be kind of contacting the people who have signed up so that I can train them on what to do and how to table. But please, if you are available, sign up. And if you have any questions, also let me know.
And if you see any of the slots for new student orientation filled, you guys could still put your names on it. We don't need just 2 people. It's always better to have more of you all at tabling with us. So don't feel like you can't sign up for a tabling opportunity just because there are 2 people. So please feel free to sign up anyway. Are there any other announcements from the board? Senator Dominguez.
Yeah, hi, hello. So I just wanted to mention, as was mentioned earlier in the president and the vice president's reports about their discussions about DPS and just looking into students and their vulnerability currently with ICE and things associated to that. I just like to mention about how currently the One Big Beautiful Bill has currently passed and how this bill was introduced or that has passed can just mention how passing of this bill can have ramifications for our students because of the increase in budget that ICE would get of like $70 billion. And so this is just for us to keep in mind that as the federal administration continues to essentially attack minorities in this country and those who are vulnerable, we need to keep this in mind and keep in mind that our students could be a part of those who are in the minority and are vulnerable, so that then we are able to come together and serve and protect them as best we can. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator Cabrera Figueroa.
Yeah, I just wanted to join on Senator Dominguez's announcement and expand on it a little bit too. The current administration's decisions affect California directly a significant amount, and I just want to remind everyone this is a very good time to start, or if you have not already, to start supporting local businesses, supporting your community members, making sure that people in your area, regardless of their citizenship status, if they are okay, if they're safe, and then also bring awareness to the fact that California farm workers are planning to have a strike relatively soon. I can't recall the exact date, but I believe it's in the next 2 weeks. So to be aware of that and to be mindful and understanding about why these events are taking place.
Thank you so much. Are there any other announcements from the board? Senator Diaz.
Yes, just a quick piggyback off of Marcelo's earlier comment. We also do have red cards in the office. I believe we still have like a huge box filled to the brim with them. So if you guys are ever by the office, make sure you pick them up, give them to anyone you know that could possibly be in danger of these types of situations, and just spread awareness of what people have in terms of their rights when it comes to ICE and certain information they are allowed to give and not give, and whether they are permitted to do certain things when it comes to actions via law.
Thank you so much. You guys can feel free to grab as many as you want. They're meant for our students, and we got them with our students in mind. Are there any further announcements from the board? Okay, seeing and hearing none, just really quickly, I hope you all are enjoying your summer break, and please make sure to rest and refresh yourselves. Go touch grass if you can. It's always nice to do that. But if there are no further announcements, we will move on to final roll call. Madeline, take it away.
Cool. Vice President Jimeniano Aragon,
Here.
Senator Abrams, Senator Arias Gomez,
Here.
Senator Ascension,
Here.
Senator Atias,
Here.
Senator Basilio,
Here.
Senator Cabrera Figueroa,
Here.
Senator Cunan,
Here.
Senator Dawood, Senator Dominguez,
Here.
Senator Garcia,
Here.
Senator Gavino,
Here.
Senator Hernandez, Senator Katka, Senator Quiroga,
Here.
Senator Ramirez,
Here.
Senator Umana,
Here.
Senator Vicente.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and I will adjourn this meeting at 10:26 a.m. Yay! Well, it was nice seeing you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.